LinkedIn Live. Thank you so much for joining. I hope to make this as valuable of time that you spend today. So let's get to it. Today's topic, quantity versus quality on LinkedIn. How to leverage that for greater LinkedIn success. Well, let's start at the beginning. What is the first thing people talk about and think about when they're talking about quantity and quality? It's typically connections. So some people have this philosophy or strategy that you can just keep adding connections, and because you have bigger populations in your network and community, that will generate some positive activity to you. Well, here's the challenge to that. I've got 38,000 connections almost. And I would say a very small percentage of those are truly active, and even a lower percentage are interactive with me. And then take that down a step, and those are who are really collaborating with me and team members. And it's all worth it, because when you get down to those 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever it is, you're locked into a quality group that can support each other, knowledge share. And that's really the essence and foundation of LinkedIn, is collaboration, right? You can learn faster, do faster, be supported, and support better. It just works. So on the other side, if you're just going for quality connections, then you're spending a lot more time qualifying, filtering. And here's the real differential between quantity and quality, and how to make the judgment between a balance of the two. One is not any better than the other. Together, if done right, can be super powerful. So typically, when people are gaining connections and conversations, they're typically sending out invites, accepting invites, and it's just an exchange of, let's connect, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I've graduated from that to the point where I have an opportunity that I'm working that really focuses on communicating with what's been communicated to you, inbound, based on your outbound. Outbound not being sending connection requests, but really putting out quality content consistently. I post every day for the last 1,000 days. I've done a LinkedIn Live every day for the last 6 weeks. People know then that you're accessible, that you're dependable, that you're reliable, you're trustworthy. I mean, all these attributes you hope people can feel about you get demonstrated in your content, in the quality of your content over time, but more importantly, the consistency, because it builds top of mind awareness. So with the quality versus quantity, people who respond to my posts, to my LinkedIn Lives, are actually pre-qualifying themselves. And based on that, I have a smaller community to market to, but it's only individuals who reached out to me, took some valuable time of their own, and supported me. And in turn, gratitude goes a long way. It's an easy opportunity to at least thank everybody for supporting you. And you get to choose on a poll. I might have 40 requests, but there may be only 3 or 4 that make sense. Let me share my screen and I'll demonstrate that to you. So here is my screen. If we go to my activity and go to post and then find a poll, when I'm not doing a video, I do a text post, and with that, I do a poll. And so here, would you like a free profile review? Well, I got 38 responses with 33 individuals who said yes, right? And through here, here's a lady who basically is a motivational engagement specialist, coach, mentor, right perfect for who I want. And really, at that point, I would just go and message her, right? Thanks for taking my poll. I appreciate it. So I would just put Jada, thanks so much for supporting my poll. Happy, well, happy to jump on a Zoom and actually I see we have a lot in common. So you bring a little familiarity, and basically that's all it takes. So getting back to the quantity or the quality, the key element is again who. So if you're getting pre-qualified interest, that saves you so much trouble about just slicing and dicing, sending out 50, 60. You're just all over the place. Focus on the people who are working, focus on the people who are supporting you. On the quality side, it tends to support itself with the quantity side. Now we're talking about content. So you got connections. There's a way of really speeding through it and being efficient and relevant being the key word. Now on content, quality versus quantity. I always go for both. Again, another blend, but you got to start with activity, which is quantity. Based on the feedback you receive, you start improving. Based on doing it, I do it every day. You're fresh, you're consistent, you're following yesterday with today, you're learning every day. I employ the plan, do, review strategy. And, LinkedIn gives you same day results. You know what you did. You know who did something with you. Were those the people you were looking to attract? If not, start changing something. Change the message. Change the offer. What if you don't have a call to action? It's like leaving somebody at a doorstep. So there's all these things, and I've created some great programs, my own LinkedIn live show that I'm replicating through others and helping people co-host, a game plan that's a 30-day from beginning to end, reorganizes, makes things relevant and time and cost efficient, and a mastermind plan. Actually, I have 2 groups that people can meet every week on Zoom, share ideas, help each other, collaborate, do things like LinkedIn Lives together. There's just so much you can do if you know how to do it and when to do it, who to do it. It's all the same thing, why to do it. So you got content, which is doing a lot, doing it consistently. You got 810 million people on LinkedIn. In order to elevate and stand out from the crowd, you got to distinguish and differentiate yourself. How do you do that? Well, a great percentage of people on LinkedIn do nothing, so you're way ahead of them. Another group does something, but here and there and everywhere, and they're never going to really gain traction or momentum. Then there's people who are doing a lot, but not doing it very well. And LinkedIn's a long game. You got to have a lot of patience. And if you have a strategy, if you have realistic expectations, if you're with someone who's been up and down the hill a few times and is willing to kind of save you a lot of time, trouble, and accelerate and maximize your potential success on LinkedIn, take that road. On Wheel of Fortune, the best strategy is buy more vowels to solve the puzzle. Go to YouTube, learn. So that's the quantity quality on. We've just covered connections. We now are content. Then what most people leave at the doorstep is follow-up, right? And at that point, it's easy to come up with a blend. How much is really relative to what you need and when do you need it? I go to LinkedIn like it's a shopping mall, right? Which is really old school. And basically, I know what I'm there for. I know how I'm going to get it. And when I get it, I go home and I work with it. If you're spending all your time on LinkedIn and no time with clients or a target audience, there's another imbalance. Too much of this, not enough quality of that. So you can see how quantity quality plays a role in everything, because LinkedIn is a nuanced puzzle. People look at the surface, but there's so much more deeper. And the deeper you go, the more exciting it gets, because you're in rarefied air and you have no competition. So in one way, you got 810 million people aren't doing much, are open to being here and probably just digesting everybody else's content. And at the same time, you have hardly any players on the field. So you have a tremendous imbalance between so many connections, between so little competitors. And the key is visibility. So quantity, quality, another question. Which parts of LinkedIn do you use? Well, I try to use all of them. There are certain people who will take a poll who will not post. There's people who will comment who will not take a poll. There's people who watch a LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, through their 810 million connections that are on, really, you can separate by certain groups and really market and service those groups in the way they want to be serviced. So if I'm doing posts, if I'm doing LinkedIn Lives, if I'm doing polls, if I'm responding better than everybody else, and that's the key. There's a story about two investment bankers going up in the mountains to look for some land to buy. And all of a sudden, a mountain lion shows up. And one of the hikers says to the other hikers, "Oh, we're done for. We're never going to outrun this mountain lion." And the other guy is putting on his running shoes and says, "That's so right, Mike, but I'm going to outrun you." So here's the how to apply that. Do more than everybody else, and it's very simple. If you just looked at commenting, look at someone's comments for the day. You got, it's like playing cards with everybody showing their hands. You see what's been said. Up it 2-3 notches and be the comment of the day. Do that for a few days. That person, out of guilt, will have to thank you, and over time will support you. And that's the time you reach out, again, based on inbound, to set up a call. Connections should be really directed towards creating more calls, creating more collaborations from those calls. And, after doing it every day for 3 years, you get it. And you get it really well. And that's why I've created these new programs. I've got 3 programs on my website, doncohenconsulting.com, that really can get you from A to Z and 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. So don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Trust yourself to trust yourself, and invest in yourself. You're worth it. So with that said, thank you again. I hope quantity versus quality offered some new insights and perspectives, because that's really the key. Looking at LinkedIn and finding a facet or an element that is neglected or not really focused on, and work it. Niches are riches. So anyways, have a wonderful day. Look forward to another LinkedIn Live tomorrow. I can't wait. And until then, try to really focus on building that balance between quantity and quality. Thank you very much.